Now, the eternal question I always get with continuity is, do I drip it, Jason, or do I not drip it? Everybody wants to do pure drip, meaning that for each customer that logs in, they get content released at certain frequencies based upon how long they've been a member. So they don't, everything's controlled down to the individual member. So you get X content when you're 7 days in. You get Y content when you're 12 days in. You get Z content when you're 15 days in. Even one-off products can do drip content. Like we do this with Product E-Class. We don't give you all 8 modules at once because that would drown you when you sip through that fire hose. So it's a balance. So here's the context for pure drip is there are certain points that only lend itself to be broken down into digestible segments, and then it can be justified as a benefit and makes sense to pay for over a period of time. So, if you're 3 months pregnant, I'm in the pregnancy continuity program, I'm not going to give you the 9 month on month 3. I'm only going to give you month 3. That makes a lot of sense, right? But if there's certain things that are important for your well-being today, but I say, no, sorry, you got to wait 15 days to get it, that makes no sense. So the context is key with drip kind of content. Now, fixed term continuity makes a lot of sense to drip your content because this is where you can focus on, if I break down and charge this much per week or per month, does that make me more money than not doing it that way or doing it some sort of other way? Does giving it to them all at once make me less money than dripping it out to them? So this is a consideration, a factor. You don't want to hamper the customer experience. But all else being equal, if the customer has the same experience, whether you drip it or don't drip it, or can potentially have an enhanced experience if you drip it under the right circumstances and you make more money, this is when you start to work for the proper context to do pure drip. Now, on the other option is on its own is the on-demand consideration. So as soon as they sign up, everything past and present is immediately available to them. This works for kicking up the green glands because they think they're getting the deal of the century because they might be able to leverage. Imagine if we did this with 6 and 6, give them 122 sessions all at once. They would be like, ooh, wow, I've never got this much content for like as small of a payment, right? But it can also freak them out. In fact, in this particular case, it does. Now, if you're worried about, and this is a lot of reasons people want to do drip content, I worry about people. They really are cynical to humanity at large. They feel like everybody's going to go in there, log in, take all their stuff, then cancel their membership and get off scot-free. Almost never happens, by the way. There is maybe a small portion of the audience that will do that, but the beautiful thing is they pay you. So at least you got some money from them, right? You might often find that it doesn't matter if they do that or not because just raise your prices. And now you're getting people paying you money. That's a fantastic situation. If they're taking advantage of you and they're paying you money, that's easy to manage. It's just that we don't want them to take advantage of you and not pay you money. So if this happens, it happens. But on demand is one of the easiest ways to start. And that's why I recommend you start with something that is not too complicated from a drip perspective, but something that you start with on demand that can be retooled later into a drip release hybrid, which is what you'll really move into. It's a combination of both. Certain content is immediately available as soon as it's finished. Other content is unlocked over periods of time based on certain logical consideration. And we do this with 6 and 6. So 6 and 6, we give some things immediately right away, some things we drip out. So here's some action for you. I want you to decide what content you're going to make immediately available. Not just the foundational content when they first log in, but I'm talking about as soon as it's finished, when you create content, do you give it to everybody or do you only give it to some people? Figure out what you give to everybody, what you give to some people, and when you drip it, if you're going to drip it, when that moment's going to be. You don't have to plot out the lifetime of your continuity program, but you want to be at least a few months ahead, 3 to 4 months ahead of your customer.